In this last step, our target is to arrange the chairs in front of the screen, but in such a manner that the needful distance between this screen to the first row. So that is something first important, what you can say, point to note. And the other thing is the width wise, how much this row should be. Uh, so the number of chairs, whatever you are targeting to place, the visibility from the far or end chairs should be good enough to view the projected material on the screen. So to define this, I'm just going to take the help of this diagram. So remember, there's already we have solved this problem that how the width of the screen and height of the screen should be get calculated if you know the diagonal. Now, to place the first row chair and with its maximum width, uh, what we are going to do is by default there's a as per the technical part which if you refer it's recommended that 30-degree weaving cone angle is ideal to fulfill the what you can say maximum width row width option. And same way, if you talk about the gap between the screen to the first row, normally it is recommended three times height of the screen. So I'm just going to follow these two base assumptions and then I'm going to proceed further. So remember now what are the width of the screen you have. If you generate this particular weaving angle or the triangle, you can see uh, the few parameters or the few values which are getting identified over here, that is half of the screen width can become the base of the triangle. Then because the apex cone was 30-degree, its half will be 15-degree. And if you talk about the other side, weaving this cone over here, that is its angle, so it will be 75-degree. So now, once I am having this much of data, I can surely find out this distance between the screen to the apex cone, which is on the back side of my screen, obviously. And from there, this additional distance, as I've mentioned, three times of the screen height. So let's try to put all these information in Paramo object so that we can definitely arrange the required chairs with the required offset between the screen and the first row, and then consequently the remaining rows can be get rearranged or adjusted. Now, before proceeding further for putting equation in Paramo, you have to understand further things that, for example, there's a in this given diagram, the value for A is nothing but height of the view cone. That is my current target. So I want to find out how much is supposed to be this height for the view cone. And for that matter, I have available information with me as screen width, its half value, that is B, which is available with me. And the angle over here will be 75 on the basis of the logic that 30 was your view cone and half of that will be my this 15-degree. So 15 degree is supposed to be my angle. Opposite to that, there will be 75 and 90. So normal your right angle triangle rule, which we are using. Now, apart from that, what we are going to consider that to find out the length of A, the equation will be tan theta. This is a trigonometry rule again. So tan theta equal to adjacent side, that is B, divided by opposite side, that is A. And because I am not aware of A, so I will be putting on the left hand. So tan theta into adjacent side, that will be my equation, where angle theta is 75 degree in my current case. So this entire thing you have to keep in your mind. And apart from that, one more thing you have to remember, that there's a C is another field which I have marked over here, which is nothing but first row offset from screen. So my first row where it will start. The D factor I'll explain afterwards. First of all, let's at least put this much of equation. So we should identify what should be, or we'll try to figure out this A value and C value. These two values we are going to say generate with Paramo. Okay. So for that, you have to remember that in your previous definition, I've added one more thing, that is nothing but this temporary apex group I have created, and I've actually added one block. If you just check out over here, I've added one block, and this block was given some particular name for my comfort, I can see. And the size of the block I took as a 200 200 200. You can millimeters or zero point 0.2 meters, you can take any required size, because anyway this is not a something which you need as in particular for completing this definition. It is just to cross check, because anyway in Paramo whatever you write now, you will not see the any drawn vectors or something in the display window. So that's the reason I'm just taking the help of this block, which you'll understand how it is going to help me for my further explanation. So you can also generate this if it is needed. Otherwise, you can just check over here and you can do the needful as per required. Now, this block, we are going to actually make sure that I'm going to, right now it is supposed to be placed equally, and it is on the positive x, y and z axis. So I'm just going to push this and keep it to the center. So it's x side, that is nothing but whatever you can call length or width. Its half will be exactly on the y-axis. Okay, so I'm just going to move this object. So here I'll be using y value, sorry, x value, and that too also minus 0.1. So you will see this is how I have actually moved this block for its placement, and it is now the midpoint of this side is passing from the y-axis. Now what we have to do is I'm going to now start working with my next required thing. The first thing which I'll be using, that is nothing but the tangent part. Okay, so 75 was my angle which I'll be needing for that. You can directly type the value over here as a 75 also, and in case you want to change it for some reason, then you can surely create a new field, and here I'll just place 75. Any increment step, whatever you find comfortable, you can go for. That's optional, you can type the value also. This 75 will be your tan, so tangent, tan theta is nothing but 75 of for the value for 75 you want to generate. Anyway, now apart from that, the next field was half width of the screen. So I'm just going to use divide, and with the division will be screen half width. So division factor will be 2 obviously, and here I'll be talking about the screen width. So remember this screen width, I'll be joining this as my A value. So here I'll be joining this as my A value. Okay, so half width and the tan theta, this you want to multiply. So I'm just going to say multiply, and this is nothing but your value for that A. So we can say view cone height. Okay, so this is totally your choice, whatever you want to write over here. Okay, so now this A value is that is my screen half width will get multiplied by my tan theta value. Okay, and this value, if you are going to link because the equation is already ready now and it's functioning, but visually I can't see anything over here. Just to get that impact, okay, whether this is actually this entire thing which we are whatever we have generated is working or no, I'm just going to take this help of this dummy object. Otherwise it's not needed also. Just let's try to talk about this. Now you know it very well that we are expecting that this has to jump on the negative side, okay, not on the positive side. So positive is upward and negative is downward. So I have to make sure that negative is the conversion in between I'm going to use. Okay, so the value which the height which I have computed will be converted as a negative, and that I am going to apply for the y offset. Now you can see how it is working. Okay, so that your object is jumped. Remember from its center point. So the value which we have generated over here is nothing but if you place the center of this at the bottom, from that point to the origin is the length which we have calculated as a height of this particular view cone, fine, with the respect to your tan theta as a 75 and a half width logic. So now we have got the correct result. So anyway, so joining this second part was optional. Now the next part is supposed to the first row offset. That is how much should be my where my first row chair should be placed, how far it should be from the screen. We have taken that explanation that it is 3 times the height of the screen. So if you just remember that it is nothing but 3 times height of the screen is supposed to be our target. So now what I'm going to do here, I'll say multiplication, and here in this my name for this I can change as first row offset. So first row offset. Okay, so first row offset is my node name, and the value for the b will be 3 times. So now remember the height of the screen is the condition. So my screen height will get multiplied by this, and this value, obviously, if you want to check with some chair to be get placed, and that value will be considered for the offset value. So now I'm going to use this object as my GDL object, obviously, as my node name, and here you have to then obviously you can put pin number, and surface is of no use because whatever the surface is there inside the GDL object, you can hire the same parameters. Now object name, from here I'll try to say office chair. Okay, I'll try to use office chair 5. You should know all the names and their whatever you can say, how the object appear or looks. So you should know that from the beginning. So check that in the library. Whatever you like, register the name in your memory and then hunt for the same and get it over here. Anyway, so I'll just say okay for this, and once I'm going to say further okay, you will see that your chair has been placed. Now this chair has to be offsetted by required 3 times height of the screen. So I'm just going to use move as my in between node, and this will get obviously on the y-axis. Okay, so the chair has to be moved on the y-axis, and that value, so first row offset will be for the transform. So you can see now how my first chair was placed away. Now the target is what? I would like to place what are the number of chairs I'm expecting in my first row, maybe 5 chairs, 4 chairs, but they should be inside that view cone, which is permitting for a better viewing angle or viewing display experience for the screen. So I have to now figure out that what should be my maximum extents for the first row. So before proceeding further, the last explanation related to how to identify the maximum width of the row. For that you should know that my d is the targeted value this time, and which is half of the width of your first row. So this is what I want to find out, and the available information with me this time was the C, that is my first row offset, and the A, that is my height of the view cone, and the angle also I am aware of 15 degree. So if you again put the trigonometry logic, so that is nothing but if you say to find out the length of D, the tan theta, tan theta is equal to adjacent side, that is A plus C, and divide by opposite side, that is D. Okay, again I am not aware of D, so I am putting D on this side. So tan theta into adjacent side, that is E plus C, and angle theta this time was 15 degree. So let's try to put this very quickly. So if you want, you can copy these two things again. So these two things you can simply select control and just drag them and create a copy of that. And apart from that, you have to make sure that, so if I place somewhere on this side for a while, so this angle this time will be 15 degree. Okay, and the A and C should be added. That is this your first value, that is nothing but height of your view cone, and the offset of this particular first row. So you will use the add option, and where it is nothing but you will be adding these two values, view cone height plus you have a first row offset. Okay, so giving the elaborate names will always be helpful for you. So now my first row offset, okay, plus my height, view cone height. So this is my second option. And these two things, obviously, again you are going to use the multiply option. So if you just want to create a copy of this also, still it's okay. Or because you can rename these things, right? And then you can put this as a first row half width. Okay, so half width of the first row. So this is how I'm going to now generate this. So this A will get multiplied by this. Now if you just want to again check this time what you can do is your this targeted chair, no, this is supposed to be your GDL object. So if I can move this on my negative x side, so because on the y-axis already we have moved this, so you should now remember that the way it was pushed on the y-axis, same way if I push it on the negative x, from that point my targeted row will start, okay, for its first chair to be get placed. So for that you will be again converting this with a negative, and once it is converted into negative, this width, okay, so and that value I'll use for my x offset. So you can see now how my chair is moved. Now the target is to complete this full width, to find out the full width of the first row. So you will be using again multiplication, and this time your first row full width. This will be double to my half width, obviously. So this will get multiplied by 2, and now what I have to do is I have to use the distribute as my number distribution as my required target, and because you have to now play with this, that how many chairs and where they should end. So nothing but my end point is nothing but this is my full length of the row, and object, obviously I will be using move shape, correct? The shape is supposed to be my chair, and offset will be towards my x-axis. So here I will be putting this for the x. You will see now the chairs are placed, but why so many chairs? Because by default the count over here was a 10. So which I have to now control by using as a integer Okay, and this is nothing but I'll say number of chairs in first row or in row, whatever you find comfortable. Now this field, probably you are going to make it as a variable, you have to obviously, and then you have to give required number as a series number. So I'll just explain that. So if you check out, there are supposed to be few required fields to be get identified. For example, the first field which I want to identify was a screen diagonal line. So I'll put 0, 1 as a prefix. My second field is supposed to be screen width ratio, then screen height ratio. So this way the numbers are going on. So if you further check out the third number, after that probably I must have used one more number. So that was supposed to be 4, that is sill height. Okay, and now this will be my fifth field which I want to identify. So I can put over here as a 0, 5. So this is just to maintain that particular hierarchy or a kind of a sequence. So same thing I should type over here also, because one thing will be here on my see what you can see inside the paramo. I can see this particular field name, and this I'll see as a in my object settings as a parameter name. Okay, so this is a node name and the parameter name. The number of chairs, now you make sure that you're not supposed to come to the 1 as a count, because then only one chair will be there. So I'll just try to put say somewhere as a value as a 5. Increment will be obviously one step, and this value I'm going to push it over here. So now you can see the 5 chairs are placed. And but then obviously you should always remember your earlier object, you have to keep this as off mode, because otherwise that will create a problem. Okay, so now this is turn off. Now the final product is from the this move shape. So here you can see that first row chairs. Correct. Now if you want to create such multiple rows, again you are going to just say move shape, and this time the shape is nothing but this entire geometry which we have created, that is my first row, but then that has to be get moved for the offset for the y, so the row gap which you want to maintain. So this time again I will say number as my input, and that number I will say distance between rows. Okay, and this can become my next number. So I'll just quickly put this over here, right? And the value can be say 0.9. Increment value I can put as a 0.1, but again that will work over here only. And this is nothing but towards my y-axis. So you can see now. So now the problem, what is supposed to be, I should try to use in between one more thing, that is how many such objects you want to go for, correct? So you should try to use the same number series instead of just a number, because number series is supposed to be your required field. So what I'm going to do, the count I'll put over here. The steps I'll put over here, and the count obviously I'm just going to see number of rows is my another field which I have to talk about. So I'll just disconnect this, and see here is supposed to be number of chairs in first row, and I'll create one more node which will say, now if you want you can keep this as your 6 number, and then the letter will be 7 number. So here we'll say number of rows, okay? So same thing you should try to remember, it should be identical. Okay, so number of rows is what we are going to give the name for the parameter number of rows, and Here also I'll put the same number, and this number then I'll try to change to 7, distance between rows. So that solely depends on your convenience. So I've just done this change. Okay, and now you can check out the count over here. Now if you want, you can push this up, this you can take down. The count I'll put over here, and this entire thing I'm just going to push this into my y offset. Okay, so this is what is the correct one. Now if in case if I decrease the number of rows, you can see how it is working, right? And the distance between the rows, if I want to increase, you can see how this is how it is working for. So altogether, your program is now set. At the most, this apex point, if you don't want to display, you can surely turn off that. So you just have to go back over here and you can just say that it has to be on the false mode. So now there's no need of that point as such. So now altogether you are set to go further. Only thing you remember, if in case it is needed, it's better you should try to do the exact grouping. So finally, you make sure that, as I mentioned, that you have made this group and all the required fields are inside the group. Another thing which you should remember, that first row which you have generated, you should keep this as a visibility as a false, because your last this move shape was nothing but combination of rows and columns. So altogether, this end product is should be in a true mode, that is visible mode. Okay, so let's say okay and save this object. So my object is almost now ready for insertion. I'll just say okay. It is now prompted by Archicad that the object is ready in the embedded library. So I'm just going to use that. So if I go inside my embedded library, now you can check out over here the sequence which I mentioned, that is 01, 02, 03, will be helpful for me to organize those field names so that in a sequence I can reply them. For example, screen diagonal length. So if in case you say this has to be for 3 meter, then width aspect ratio, then number of the sill height if you want to change. So this becomes as per your current drawing units. And then number of chairs, if you see I want to put 7 chairs, so you can see how it works, and such how many rows you want to go for, maybe 5 rows you want to go for. The distance between the rows, whatever the distance you want to mention over here. So maybe if I say that this has to be 1 meter, okay, and the surface if in case you want to change. So altogether now you are ready to place your screen, projector screen with the required number of chairs in front of that. So quickly and promptly you can organize and make more precise, what you can say, design in your targeted project. So let's place this. So you just single click, place this as per your choice, and moment you get this in front of you, obviously you can see that in your 3D view also. Or so this is how your 3D is going to appear. Okay, so in the 3D view, now you can see how it works in 3D view. So I hope you have enjoyed my this exercise which is explained. So keep on informing me about your feedback so I can improve if there are some issues in my either in my explanation or in my other what you can say description. So kindly update me. Thank you.